In the interim, RFK Jr. seems to have reneged on almost every one of those promises. Senator Roger Marshall is also a doctor and one of RFK Jr.'s strongest supporters in the Senate. He's the founder of the Senate MAHA caucus, and he joins us now. Senator Marshall, thank you so much for joining us. You are a person who I know cares deeply and sincerely about the health of every American, and especially rural Americans. So I'm very excited to talk to you about this. Do you not feel that Director Kennedy went back on his word?
You know, I don't. I believe that President Trump chose Bobby Kennedy Jr. because Bobby is a disruptor, that he's trying to turn this healthcare system upside down. Look, 60% of Americans have a chronic disease right now, and that's what we need to be focused on is attacking those diseases. I believe that Secretary Kennedy is doing what he thinks is best. I think he's focusing, again, on how do we interact with those chronic diseases, and I'm standing beside him right now. I'm excited what the future looks like. Remember, the CDC also has a component. It's the Center for Disease Control, but it's also and prevention. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and that's what I hope he tells us tomorrow, is how he wants to work with helping to make Americans healthy again by addressing these chronic diseases that are out there.
I agree with everything you just said. Americans are struggling from chronic illness. There are a lot of problems with the food. A lot of the stuff that he is preoccupied with is good stuff. And yet, there also is this question of vaccines. Do you really think that this shakeup at the CDC does not endanger our most vulnerable children, babies, that this is not having a downward spiral and impact on the health of our most vulnerable citizens?
Yeah, I don't. I think the vaccine hesitancy was created by Anthony Fauci. We've lost our faith in the CDC. I mean, how do you explain to a mom and dad, a new mom and dad, that their child's going to get a vaccine, a hepatitis vaccine on day number 1? Your child's going to get 18 jabs in the first 18 months. Your child's going to get 76 jabs before they're old enough to vote. Like many parents out there, and a grandfather myself, I'm concerned about the interaction of those vaccines. I'm concerned about how it impacts the immune system, of developing an immune system of those children. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for the vaccines. They have saved millions of lives. I think about the smallpox vaccine and polio vaccine as well. But just speak just for a second about hepatitis vaccines. Every pregnant woman I delivered, I tested her for hepatitis before she delivered. If she was in a stable, monogamous relationship, she wasn't doing IV drugs, the risk of that newborn baby having hepatitis is approaching zero. It probably is zero. I wish the CDC would think about a more targeted approach. Who should get the hepatitis vaccine and when? The same thing with COVID vaccines. I think the COVID vaccine recommendations now make sense. If you're over 6 months of age, you can get a vaccine for COVID. You need to talk to your doctor about it, just like you would talk to him about a GLP-1. If you're over the age of 65, you don't even need a doctor's order. They compare that. In the UK, they have the age limit at 75, and in France, 80. So I think that these are new reasonable guidelines. And the reason that Americans don't trust the CDC is because they lied to us about COVID vaccines, and they lied to us again about monkeypox vaccines, of all things.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.